chers amis. The 26th of September, I was in Mississauga to celebrate the invisible mayor that is here today, and I want to salute her again. All of you wanted to come to see you at Hazel, and all of you too. But it was a tough time. Arrived at the airport, it didn't take me on the first plane. It took Trudeau, but not me. So I had to wait 2 hours, change plane, change company first. After that, there was too much luggages, so we needed another session of defreezing the plane, something like that. Arriving here at the island, the ferry was not in good shape. But I had to meet Hazel. And Aline said we cannot miss it. And to meet some of my colleagues who were there with me. Il y a 50 ans aujourd'hui, il faisait froid. But if it was cold outside, you know, because it was very cold on Parliament Hill, our hearts were very warm with pride as a new Canadian flag was raised for the first time. I was there with my 3 colleagues, Renat Gay, Auguste Jacquet, and Ian Watson. We were there for a very difficult debate that lasted for months. I was there, you know, when at the end of the vote, when those who had voted for the flag got up to sing "O Canada," and unfortunately they were booed. We were there. I remember right after that, going from the 2nd floor to the 5th floor, there was pushing around between members of Parliament. One pushed George McCallion from Ottawa Centre, Minister of Public Works. And I was there again, in fact, for the first time, for the Chretien handshake to solve the problem. It was a great day. And it was, in my judgment, with Mike Pearson, the great Mike Pearson, the Nobel Prize, you know, the emancipation of Canada, starting again, you know, that new Canada that was to be developed. It was the period where we started to move on our own, you know, to be changing the society. We went, after a difficult debate on that, the Royal Air Force became the Canadian Air Force. The Royal Navy became the Canadian Navy. I don't know why we're going back, but it's another problem. You know, it was at the time that, because all under the Canadian flag, you know, we were moving. We started Medicare, Canada Pension Plan. It was under this flag that we did the national anthem. Official languages. It is at this time, under this flag, that we started to open Canada to immigrants, not only anymore from Europe, but from Asia, and I see a lot of you there who came from Asia, you know, China, India, Philippines, after that, it was under this flag that the people start to come from the Caribbean islands to Canada. It was under this flag that they start to come here from Latin America. We were there because we had to build a place for Canada. We were a colony only a couple of generations before, and we started to move on. And when my friend Mr. Trudeau was a prime minister, you know, we became part of the G7, involved in all the big problems, big solutions of the world. And after that, under this flag, at the United Nations, when it was the time for Canada d'avoir son siège au Conseil de sécurité, ce n'était pas un problème pour M. Trudeau de l'avoir. Ce ne fut pas un problème non plus sur M. Mulroney de l'avoir. Évidemment, ça n'était aucun problème plus tard de l'avoir encore une fois. You know, it was a time when Canada was respected. You know, we were proactive. We were showing the world what it was to build a modern society with the diversity that we have and I see today. You know, it was the Canada that helped, for example, Nelson Mandela and his run a normal country with so much generosity. So Trudeau was very difficult too for Mr. Mulroney, I remember, because he was fighting Madame Thatcher. I don't know why. But during all that period of time, there was a huge disagreement on that. And it was when I was there that he was liberated and we made it. It was a great moment in my life to make Nelson Mandela a Canadian citizen. That was the Canada that the last 50 years we were an example to everybody. You will remember, for example, in the 1934, 95, 96, 97, and so on, every year, the report of the United Nations on quality of life was always making Canada number one. Now, we are dropping 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know what happened. It was under this flag that we were promoting the power of the middle power when we initiated the great treaty of the landmine treaties. So to ban this awful instrument of war that we were the initiator of the Canadian International Court of Criminal Justice was under this flag that we had accepted. Unfortunately, it's not there anymore. Kyoto. You know, something happened. Something happened, and it's not funny, it's sad. C'est triste parfois also. When we were defeated at the United Nations for a seat on the Security Council, it was sad. I remember a few months after that, I was in New York, and a former president of Portugal and a former Prime Minister of Portugal telling me we cannot believe that we defeated Canada at the UN. I was not very happy that day. But, you know, what's happening is that politics sometimes is looked by people with suspicions. But I leave it. I give you some example of the things that happened during the 50 years since 1963 1965 when we joined Parliament with my 3 colleagues who are with me here today. What this country has become. It was an example to the world. Everybody was looking up at Canada. I was at international meeting. When they were debating the problem of immigration, the difficulties they had in Europe with immigration. And I was telling them that in Canada, we don't see immigration as a problem. We don't see an immigrant as a problem. We see an immigrant as an asset for the nation. Under Mike Pearson, when I ran for him as a kid, in 1963, how proud we were they had been the Nobel Prize. Because you can imagine the difficulty Canada had at this time. There was a war between Great Britain and France against Egypt, and we stepped in. And at the suggestion of Mike Pearson, the peacekeepers were established. The Blue Beret were created. We were a country that was not living in fear. It was one of the great moments, un des très grands moments pour moi. C'est quand est arrivé le 11 septembre 2001 et que nous avions une décision à prendre. Il fallait, dans toutes les capitales, faire des cérémonies pour honorer les victimes de la tragédie du 11 septembre. We had to honor in every country the tragedy of September 11. That day, Canadians were not fearful. 100 Canadians came on the hill. While in the other countries like United States, France, Great Britain, and so on, the leaders will meet in cathedral, surrounded by armed forces. 100 Canadians came to show their support on the hill, not afraid, because Canada is not a country that should be afraid of anything. But politics create changes, sometimes for the better, sometimes not for the better. But that is democracy. And democracy is there when we need it. Vous savez, on n'a pas raison d'être pessimiste. C'est un pays que tout le monde admire. C'était le pays que les gens voulaient donner tout ce qu'ils avaient pour avoir le bénéfice de venir partager notre citoyenneté canadienne. And we can remain that, and will remain that. 2015 is a very important year because the people of Canada will have a chance to do something about it if they want. I devoted 15 years of my life to public life. I started as a young MP from rural Quebec, but from a blue-collar family, from a very large family. And Canada was the land of opportunity, and I became the Prime Minister of Canada and been there for 10 years. I'm traveling the world. I'm still working hard My father used to say, "Groy, roy, move or rust," so I'm still moving around. And what makes me sad, many places they tell me, what's happening to Canada? What's happening to Canada? No, it's not the same. I remember one of the great moments is when we visited the Middle East. I was the first Prime Minister to have an official visit in the Middle East. It was very controversial. But at lunchtime, you know, Yasser Arafat decorated the Prime Minister because of the work the Canadians have been doing in this piece of the world for the people who are refugees and moving from place to place. And Canada had the mission from the United Nations to play a role in that. And the same day, in Jerusalem, the Hebraic University gave to the Prime Minister of Canada an honorary doctorate for the work we were doing in the Middle East, and because they had copied the Charter of Rights and Freedom that we have made for Canadians. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was proud to serve all that time under the flag that we're honoring today. It is a flag that represents hope, represents generosity, represents sharing, represents trust. It's a flag that makes everyone equal in this land of ours, that gave opportunity to everyone to come in here and build a life that would have never believed to be able to have. And that's why today I want to say thank you for all of you. I see the diversity of this hall today. This is the Canada that we share. And we shall not only be grateful to Lester P. Pearson to have the courage to move. You should have seen the scene that he had been confronted with when he proposed that. But the time had come at this moment to build Canada as it is today, and if we're having some problems, as it will be in the future, because we have everything to be proud of, we have everything to be sure that will keep making this land the best land of the world. Vive Canada!
Join in singing the most beautiful anthem of the most beautiful country, of the most beautiful flag. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une ébauche